have
Good.
you have updates for me, don't you? What's happening? Yeah,
Yes, yes.
yeah, good.
Yeah. No, definitely, especially for enterprise clients or enterprise crowd. And I think there is a shift that is happening right now. It's the technology around databases is dramatically being affected by AI automation and what's coming up, AI agents and so on. And the keyword here for our audience is vectorial database. We're moving from normative relational databases that we have used for our banking systems, insurance systems, our websites. And now there is a shift because AI likes vectorial data and is able to semantically create content out of vectorial data and binary data. So there is a big shift happening in there. It's not yet prominently discussed, but a lot of let's say legacy or current systems they may miss that bridge and that evolution.
And so kind of explain how that what's happening.
Yes, so for example, like without going to the level of developers, but just as business people, when you create a client profile in your database, in your system, ERP, whatever you have, CRM, he will go to a table and he will put first name into a field, last name into a field, email into another field called email, phone number, That's how our regular relational table works. There are tables with rows, and each row has a represents a customer, and each column represents a set of data, like when you do a Google Sheet or an Excel file. That's how our databases are structured. Now, vectorial databases, they have like kind of single fields, and inside they put a lot of 01, 01, 01, 01 binary data that we as humans we can't conceptualize of visually. But actually you can code an image, a video, a sound, a podcast. You can code it into a vectorial format, and then you can query a chat AI and tell it, find me the podcasts where we speak about danger, the concept of danger. And even if there is no text danger in any table, because it's all 01, 01s, it will recognize that this podcast from this date and this podcast, they talk about the notion of danger. And that's semantic data out of vectorial format. It's a bit weird for us to grasp as business entrepreneurs, but this is exactly where I think the game is going to be in the enterprise world.
And this has nothing to do with SEO.
With
SEO, no.
so yeah, it can actually improve your SEO because let's say you only relied on meta tags and the text of your articles, and then let's say you had two images and a small video clip. Right now, the two images and the video clip, the only text data that the search engine will take is the title of your image and the alt tag. But
Okay.
actually, your two images and your video, they may contain semantically the equivalent of 10,000 words, but they're not written. So the SEO systems, they can't see those 10,000 words that are in the meanings, in the background of the images and what people are doing. But semantic AI, and if you vectorize those images and those videos and you extract that non-visually appearing data for us humans, you extract it from an AI will be able to extract that from the vector. Then you have a whole set of data that comes in to supplement your SEO data, which is, for example, this image is two people having a coffee in a street, and so on and so on. And this video, there is this happening and this scenery. Now you have like an extra 500, 1,000 words that did not
Wow.
exist before.
Okay. So from the picture, so before I thought, isn't that like all text?
Yeah, that's what we have at the moment. The only thing that we have from images and we leverage for SEO is the alt text. And maybe the file name of your image. Then Google says that, oh, in the image it's written cafe, so it must be something related with cafe. But what is happening in the image semantically? What is happening in the image? Like it's a sunny day and there is a tree and there is two horses running around. That semantic knowledge in the image from an SEO perspective is not readable, is not accessible. You see it as a human, but there is no text about those two horses playing under a tree under a sunny day. But if you vectorize that image and you have a vector database, now your website will have, out of the vector, it will be able to extract text meanings out of it. So you can query the AI and say, go through all my images and give me a summary of what is happening in the image, and then put it under that image.
Will that make it more searchable? And that is that
Exactly.
more the semantics you're talking about?
You convert the semantics that is only there in the image but not readable text-wise, and you convert it into a text summary. So you multiply by 2 or 3 your SEO potential just out of your media, images, sound, and videos, which do not have text readily
So
available.
that's where you're talking about the corporate. This is what you're meaning
Yes,
by this.
yeah, I think the corporate entities, because they have a lot of scanned documents, a lot of photos, a lot of minutes of meeting boards, and so there's so much data out there that has no text representation, yet there is a lot of analytics, knowledge, and information that you may want to access as a company. And unless you vectorize that content, you actually cannot search it. You don't even know you have it. You don't even know what is
When
in
do
there
you
that you can
expect this to
leverage.
be out there?
It's already out there. We're using it every day because we are in this. But when we talk to entrepreneurs and we tell them, potentially you may have another 50% of data in your data set that is not yet represented in text. Would you like to bring it in as a text
So will
format
that
and
make it
search it?
more searchable on Google? You think that's going to be huge in any
Yeah,
type of SEO?
and not only SEO, like even company analytics. Like you want to go through a bunch of images. Let's say, for example, in the medical world, you have lungs, photos of lungs for every patient, for every customer. You have the lungs, how you call it, XR image.
Yeah.
Yeah. And let's say now you recognize a pathology that is like, for example, it's a white dot that appears on the top right corner of the right lungs. And you want to go through all those images and recognize which patients may have that pathology. You cannot do it right now because your XR images are just images. Unless you open it and you look at it as a human, then only you can say as a human there is a white dot. But if you vectorize those images, and when you vectorize, you ask the AI to, when you vectorize, recognize colors differences and white dots in these images, and then it will actually analyze and create the text out of each X-ray. And now you can query the X-ray to say which one has a white dot in this location. I don't know if I explain it very well,
You definitely
but
did. Okay, so we're going to go into some other stuff. What other new things in AI now? That's a great thing, and we're going to definitely take a look at that. What other news?
yes. So I think what is called the orchestrators. Have you heard of orchestrators? So it's a new keyword. It's almost
Okay.
like there's as many keywords that pop up in this AI age as
Okay,
technologies.
so what's an orchestrator?
So an orchestrator is a kind of an AI wrapper. We talked about wrapper last week, yeah?
Right.
So it's an AI wrapper that can actually understand your query as a human, and then will go and choose which AI agent, which MCP tool to use, which function to use, and will combine many AI agents together with functions to output the result that you want. And that's called an orchestrator. It orchestrates other AI models, it orchestrates other AI agents, and give you the output directly.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I think that's what will be useful for you, because when you're telling me about what you want to do, you're actually speaking an orchestration of actions.
Right. What I want to do is just basically have the ability to duplicate, triplicate, quadruplicate me by buying a new
Yeah.
machine.
So you're the maestro, you're the orchestrator.
Right, exactly, and all that stuff. Now, maybe we weren't thinking correctly last time then, right? In our development talks. That's what I really want is when we
Yeah.
take a zoom and we'll see what the new AI agent. So let's go to ChatGPT. It had an update. It's annoyed a lot
Yeah.
of people in conversational AI. Have you noticed that where it's not as you have to reprogram it after the latest updates?
Yeah, I read some stuff about it. I personally didn't experience a big change, but I saw some videos that people were not so happy. But I think they will correct that very fast.
No, it's up. You
Very
got to
fast.
now go in the back end and correct it yourself. So this really
Yeah, I think it
goes
has to do
back
with.
to a thing where An average person's not going to be able to use AI because with the conversational AI, where do you see conversational AI going? It's and ChatGPT is not the only one, right?
That's right. Yeah. No, I think this relates. I will look into it more, but this has always been a challenge. It's called you have the context. The context size is what you type in and how much data you can send to the AI to process. And then there is another parameter inside every AI model that is called the memory of that session or your whole interaction in the last 3 months with ChatGPT. So that memory has always been a limit and is still a challenge. And I think OpenAI and the others are trying to enhance that so that you don't have to go and reconfigure the AI so that it answers you properly.
Okay. And so that like how you want to have it, how do you want this chatbot? What's happening? The interruptions, and if people don't make their changes in their settings. What about
Yeah.
conversational AI? So ChatGPT, that's the best one, right? Out there.
Yes, I think for conversational and chat mode, yeah, it's one of the best. Yes,
And
definitely.
is anybody rolling out AI agents where they're in the process of rolling it out? So if you go to the $200 version of
Hmm.
ChatGPT, which I'm soon going to go to, you've unlimited conversational AI, which is
Yeah.
gigantic because they only limit you to 30 or 40 questions. Then it stops for 3 hours and you have to go back. And it really
Yeah.
builds your own assistant. That's a huge thing. You built your own assistant that thinks about
Yes.
things, does things. I think I can create anything now because of an AI agent. Okay.
Yeah.
I
So
mean,
so I think it's
conversational
called.
AI,
Yeah.
but the
Yeah.
AI agent portion, when you're in the
Yes.
$200 version, they've not rolled that out completely yet, have they?
Yeah, I think they started. I think they called it Operator when they first launched it 1 or 2 months ago. And it was starting to work, but not maybe not convincingly or not good enough for them. But probably and this also it's almost like what they call operator is what other AI models or people call orchestrator. It's kind of it's blurring the lines. Is when ChatGPT start to take your requirements and then take actions on your computer.
Yes, that's where I'm
Yeah,
already seeing it. Do you
yeah.
feel that Artilla can keep up with that, or is that too much?
No, for us, we whatever comes in at that level, we incorporate it into Artila.
Okay, so if it doesn't go with my chatbot, but here's the concern you have is you're really going to have to train people on how to use AI correctly with training model. I see Artilla having to evolve. What are your
Yeah,
thoughts on
no,
that, Dr. Mohammed? Because that
I think, yeah, no, definitely, Neil, not only Artila, but like the whole software industry. The whole software industry is like on a double-edged sword, on a razor-thin edge, where AI can now pop up your software that it took you 10 years to build.
yeah, it's gonna be able to build it for me. Literally,
Yeah,
I'm gonna have, but see, this is the problem. It's input output. If you don't have knowledge, you're not going to be able to do it. So this is the greatest part about it. If you're
yeah,
very intelligent and you want to utilize this stuff, it's going to change your life. If
exactly.
you're
Yeah,
somebody that doesn't like, and here's one of the biggest feedback I'm hearing from clients, friends,
yeah.
everyone, they're so fed up with conversational AI because they don't get it right perfectly all the time. This is the problem with
Mm.
America. If you screw up with your knowledge and they know you're full of shit and you screwed up giving them directions, you're screwed. They won't use you
Yeah, yeah,
again.
you lose the
That's
trust. Yeah.
Americans. They're like, I'm
Not
done.
the,
I'm
I
done.
think
So this is
it's
where I think it's an opportunity because it's going to be the best kept secret ever. It's going to be like, oh, now what I can do is shit. It's going to be simple. Now they're going to
yes.
get upset and only certain people are going to utilize it. So that's where conversational AI screws up and says, well, I'm done with that. That was a waste of my time. Are
Yeah,
you seeing
definitely.
some of that?
Yeah, no, myself, like, and also sometimes I don't know if you notice with ChatGPT or OpenAI, there will be a small sentence, our AI could do mistakes, please always verify. I don't know if you notice those sentences, they
Yeah.
come up here and there because because they know that at one point it's gonna mess up the conversational AI.
But see, but
So
how many
last time,
people? So how many people have that? Get pissed off and say, "I'm done.
a
I give
lot,
up.
but
I quit."
uh, last, no, no,
So
definitely.
this is where who's going to be the ones in technology? They're going to say, "I'll jump into this," versus someone who's not very familiar with technology. How are they going to utilize it if it sees it
Mm.
messes up and think, "Hey, that's stupid. I can do it myself."
Yeah, I think we have to develop the skill of being able to spot when AI messes it. And you can't come with zero knowledge about an industry and think that AI is going to do it for you because you have no benchmark of your own. So you will not be able to know if the AI made a mistake. But if, for example, I'm a good developer in Python, and I delegate to the AI to write Python, I can see if there is a mistake because I have some knowledge, just like you. If you see your experience in branding and marketing, you will be able to spot when the AI
Spot.
does.
Well, this is
Yeah,
bullshit. You better
exactly,
ask him again, or
exactly.
or
Yeah.
it's not
So you
giving
will
me full
benefit.
directions. I look at
Yeah,
like the eyes and ears for me, but yet
yeah,
I'm going to be the one that says no, no, stop, go back. But
exactly.
we
Yeah,
always wanted an agent like, and so it's called an operator. So ChatGPT's
yes.
AI agent, which is AI agent, is an operator. Am I correct? Is that the
Yeah,
definition?
operator. I think operator and what they call orchestrator is this new algorithm or this new
Which is calling
software
AI
layer.
agent, which is an AI
Exactly.
agent.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. And then there are many AI agents. This AI agent does that. This one goes on a travel site. This one books
Right.
a calendar meeting.
And I think the one that's going to be able to control your screen is going to be the one that I don't know if social media is going to be able, but they're not going to worry about it because it's not scalable, right?
Yeah, I think what I see, like for example, when OpenAI comes with the operator, because you have two sides of this game. You have the game where it's like consumer level automation, where it serves me as an individual to book my flight ticket and find me a hotel, and I just say, find me a hotel in Los Angeles. I'm going over the weekend. Find me the best flight at the best price and a hotel at the best price in this
Yep.
location. It's gonna book it for you. But now, if you want to offer that arrangement and booking for your clients, and where you have to do it 20 times, 30 times, and there are so many parameters, that's where the ChatGPT operator, you cannot scale it and offer it to a client and do it like 20, 30
See,
times
but
over and over.
what if you're a full service agency? You potentially could do it if you bought 5 computers or 6 computers.
Exactly. So that is the value you will bring in, is that you know that the operator from OpenAI can do it for one customer with one objective, and then
For
you
a certain
find a
amount of
way.
time, which would have been my human time lost.
Exactly. So they
And
will then,
it's never gonna be scheduled.
yeah, so
Never
that's
gonna be
the
able to
value.
you'll be able to schedule posts, but you're gonna need a human being, which is a human
That's
being. So
right.
you're replacing a human being with a computer for 500 or $1,000 or whatever. And
Yeah.
that subscription monthly, because you can't, but you can log into 6 computers at once and use
Yeah.
ChatGPT. You know that, right?
Yes.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
This is where
Protecting. Yeah.
I call it, in the United States they call it an AI agent. So is AI agent an operator, or what'd you call it again?
An orchestrator.
An orchestrator.
Yeah, it's very confusing because as this is nascent, this is like a genesis of new tools. So a lot of them, they are overlapping each other. But my current understanding is that AI agents, they are like specialized tools to do a specific action when you give them an input. Orchestrators and operators, they play with all these resources, and they make them talk to each other without you going and programming.
Hmm.
That's my current understanding.
It's confusing. I mean, it's confusing where it's going to
Please.
go. And now you told me about the images. They're so unbelievable. I can't wait to play around with it to say, okay, I'm going to give an example of a thumbnail and then upload my ideas and thumbnail and give me a thumbnail this professional for this brand. Boom, done,
Yeah,
finished. But it's going to make mistakes.
yeah, yeah,
That's
exactly. Yeah, you
the
have to review.
so I don't know about your country. In my country, if we make mistakes, we're a fool and we're ostracized for making a mistake.
Yeah, it's the same. It's the same anywhere. I think it's a human condition.
So, but when AI is more intelligent, but yet makes that mistake, how many people are going to have patience for it? That's the philosophical part of this. I
Yes,
don't
I
have
actually.
patience to deal with it. Well, we know, as you and I, as analytical thinkers, we make mistakes all the time. We just people don't know.
Yeah, and I'm gonna share with you a personal thing that happened to me. Like about 2 months ago, I was developing some stuff. I was vibe coding. We talked about vibe coding. I was vibe
Mhm.
coding an app, and then I did so much in such a short time, and then the AI started to mess up in the last mile. And like it's almost there, it's almost there, and then I started getting angry at the AI. But I think we're not very grateful because I forgot that actually I made all that progress in 2 days of work. And 2 years ago, I would have had to hire a developer and pay $10,000. So I got pissed off because just the last mile, it was messing up. And then I don't look at what the 80% that it brought me forward.
All right. So the best
Yeah.
place to go is RTILA.com. Appreciate it, Dr. Mohammed. Take care.
Exactly.
All right. That was a special